Nature's most extreme survival hacks intro. What if I told you that to escape danger, some lizards can shoot a stream of blood straight from their eyes? It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's just one of nature's wildest survival hacks. From frogs that build claws out of their own broken bones to insects that unleash chemical explosions, we're uncovering the world's most bizarre and brilliant defense mechanisms. You won't believe what some animals will do to stay alive. Section 1. The horned lizard. The blood-squirting reptile. First up, in the deserts of North America, we find the horned lizard. When a predator like a coyote gets too close, this reptile has one of the most shocking defenses you'll ever see. Its first move is to freeze, hoping its camouflage does the trick. If that fails, it inflates its body, making itself a spiky, hard-to-swallow snack. But if it's cornered, it pulls out its truly unbelievable trump card. The lizard intentionally restricts blood flow from its head, building up so much pressure that it can rupture tiny vessels in its eyelids, shooting a targeted stream of blood up to 5 feet away. But why would it do that? This isn't just for shock value. The lizard's blood is loaded with foul-tasting chemicals it gets from its main diet of harvester ants. While this bloody cocktail doesn't bother birds, it's absolutely revolting to predators like foxes and coyotes, causing them to gag and abandon the attack. The lizard often waits until its head is literally inside the predator's mouth before firing, making sure the blood hits the most sensitive tissues for maximum impact. It's a gruesome, high-risk strategy that redefines giving it your all. Section 2. The hairy frog, the bone-breaking brawler. If you thought that was intense, meet a creature that takes self-defense to a painfully personal level. This is the hairy frog of Central Africa, but it's better known by its terrifyingly accurate nicknames, the horror frog or Wolverine frog. When this amphibian is threatened, it does something truly cringe-inducing. It doesn't have normal claws made of keratin. Instead, it makes them on demand by powerfully contracting the muscles in its feet, which intentionally snaps its own toe bones. Those sharp broken bone fragments are then shoved through the skin of its toe pads, creating a gruesome but effective set of claws. The frog uses these bone daggers to slash at attackers, leaving deep, painful wounds. This isn't just a theory. Local hunters use long spears and machetes to kill these frogs, specifically to avoid being handled and clawed. And after the fight, it's believed the bone claws just slide back in. Thanks to incredible regenerative abilities, the damaged tissue and broken bones eventually heal, ready for the next time the frog needs to unleash its inner Wolverine. Section 3. The wood frog. Cheating death by freezing. But what happens when the threat isn't a predator but the entire environment? In the frozen forests of North America, the wood frog has mastered a mind-bending survival hack. To get through the harsh winters, it doesn't just hibernate, it lets itself freeze solid. And I don't mean it just gets a little chilly. We're talking up to 70% of the water in its body turning to ice. Its heart stops. It stops breathing. All brain activity flatlines. For all intents and purposes, the frog is dead. So how does it come back to life? Right before freezing, the frog's liver goes into overdrive, flooding its body with massive amounts of glucose. This sugar-rich solution acts as a natural antifreeze inside the frog's cells, preventing ice crystals from shredding them from the inside out. While ice fills its abdomen and the space between its skin and muscles, its vital organs remain safe in their sugary syrup. When spring finally arrives and the world thaws, the frog thaws with it. Its heart flickers back to life, and it hops away as if waking from a long nap, ready to start its breeding season. Section 4. The bombardier beetle. The chemical weapons expert, from the frozen north, we move to a master of chemical warfare. The bombardier beetle might look harmless, but it's packing some serious heat. When it's threatened by an ant or a hungry frog, this insect unleashes a literal boiling explosion from its rear end. The beetle has 2 separate glands in its abdomen, one holding hydrogen peroxide and hydroquinones, and another filled with catalyst enzymes. The moment it's attacked, the beetle mixes the contents of these glands into a reinforced reaction chamber. The result is an instant violent chemical reaction that heats the mixture to a scalding 100 degrees Celsius, the boiling point of water. The insane pressure buildup propels the boiling toxic spray out of a turret-like nozzle with an audible pop. Some species can even swivel their abdomen to aim this chemical cannon with pinpoint accuracy. It can fire this weapon in a rapid-fire volley, creating a pulsed blast of boiling chemicals that will make almost any attacker regret its life choices. Section 5. The sea cucumber, the organ-ejecting escape artist. Just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, we're heading under the sea. The slow-moving sea cucumber has a defense strategy that is equal parts disgusting and genius. When a predator like a crab gets too aggressive, the sea cucumber performs something called evisceration. In a single convulsive effort, it violently expels a huge portion of its own internal organs right out of its anus. This sudden blast of guts serves a few purposes. First, it's a pretty effective distraction. But in many species, the ejected organs are joined by sticky, stringy tendrils called Cuvierian tubules. These threads expand rapidly in the water, entangling and immobilizing the attacker. As if that wasn't enough, these tissues often carry a toxin called holothurin, which can be lethal to many marine animals. While the predator is trapped, poisoned, or just confused with a mouthful of intestines, the sea cucumber makes its slow getaway. It's a costly move, but not a fatal one. The sea cucumber simply regenerates all of its lost organs over the next few weeks. Section 6. The axolotl, the regeneration superhero. Speaking of regeneration, our next animal takes this ability to a level that feels like it's pulled straight from a comic book. The axolotl, a unique salamander from Mexico, is a true master of healing. This creature, which famously stays in its aquatic, teenage form its whole life, has a superpower that scientists are still trying to fully understand. It can regenerate almost any part of its body. If an axolotl loses a limb, it doesn't just grow back a stump. It regrows a perfect, fully functional replacement. Bones, muscles, nerves, and all. But it gets crazier. Axolotls can regenerate damaged parts of their spinal cords and even portions of their brain. They heal without any scarring. Instead, a cluster of powerful stem cells forms at the wound, holding the blueprint to rebuild whatever was lost with flawless precision. Scientists are now learning how they do it, and it could revolutionize human medicine, potentially helping us one day repair damaged organs or heal devastating injuries. Section 7. The mimic octopus, the master of disguise. Sometimes the best survival hack is just being smarter than everyone else. And few animals are as clever as the mimic octopus. Discovered in 1998, this octopus takes camouflage to a completely different place. Sure, lots of octopuses can change color to blend in with a rock. But the mimic octopus impersonates other animals, at least 16 different species. By twisting its body and arranging its 8 arms, it can look like a venomous lionfish, trailing its arms like poisonous spines. It can bury most of its body to look like a toxic sea snake hunting in a burrow. It can flatten itself out to glide along the seafloor like a poisonous flatfish. But here's the most amazing part. It seems to choose its disguise based on the threat. When attacked by damselfish, one was seen transforming into a sea snake, a known predator of damselfish. It doesn't just hide, it actively and intelligently turns the tables on its attackers. Section 8. The tardigrade, the indestructible water bear. And finally, we arrive at the undisputed champion of survival. An animal so resilient it's practically immortal. Meet the tardigrade, also known as the water bear. These microscopic 8-legged creatures are virtually indestructible. They can survive conditions that would obliterate almost any other known life form. We're talking temperatures from near absolute zero to well above boiling, crushing pressures 6 times greater than the deepest ocean trench, and doses of radiation hundreds of times higher than the lethal limit for humans. Their ultimate hack is a state called cryptobiosis. When things get rough, they can basically shut down their entire metabolism, entering a dormant state where they can survive for decades without food or water. In 2007, scientists put them through the ultimate test. They launched them into space. After 10 days exposed to the hard vacuum and pure cosmic radiation of orbit, many of the tardigrades were brought back to Earth, rehydrated, and just went on with their lives, even producing healthy offspring. They are, without a doubt, nature's ultimate survivors. Conclusion and CTA. From blood-shooting lizards and bone-breaking frogs to organ-eating sea cucumbers and indestructible space bears, nature's drive to survive is more bizarre, brutal, and brilliant than we can even imagine. Evolution plays by its own rules, and the results are some of the most jaw-dropping abilities on the planet. Which of these survival hacks blew your mind the most? Drop a comment below and let us know. And if you're into the weird and wild side of the natural world, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what we uncover next.
1. Octopus. The sucker-punching teammate. Let's start with this tentacled genius, the octopus. Already known for opening jars and escaping tanks. But in the wild, octopuses have a new move, punching fish. When hunting in a team with groupers, an octopus will randomly throw a tentacle punch at its fish partner mid-hunt. Sometimes it's for food. But sometimes, it's for no reason at all. Like a toxic coworker that throws hands instead of shade. Even scientists couldn't explain it, except for calling it active displacement. Translation: pettiness in pure form. 2. Texas horned lizard. Blood sniper mode. Out in the deserts of North America, the Texas horned lizard looks like a miniature dragon. But get too close? It squeezes blood vessels in its eyes until they burst, shooting streams of blood up to 5 feet. This ocular attack freaks out predators, and yeah, it freaks us out too. Even worse, the blood is chemically weaponized to taste nasty to dogs and coyotes. This lizard's got built-in pepper spray in its eyeballs. Evolution really said, "You're gonna need that. Thanks, I hate it." 3. Kangaroo. The drowning assassin. Everyone loves kangaroos. Cute, bouncy, meme material. But here's the thing. When a kangaroo is being chased by a predator, a dog, or even a human, it doesn't just flee. It runs into a pond or river, and waits. And when the chaser follows, the kangaroo uses its massive arms to grab and drown its enemy underwater. No punches, no kicks. Just murder by marshland. We expected bounce. We got waterboarding marsupial. 4. Pistol shrimp. Shoots heat hotter than the sun, 2 inches long. Zero chill. The pistol shrimp snaps its claw shut so fast, it creates a cavitation bubble, a shockwave that stuns or kills its prey. This bubble reaches over 4,700 degrees Celsius, hotter than the surface of the sun. That's not a shrimp. That's a walking nuclear weapon. Underwater gunfight, Nature Edition. Even military tech researchers are studying its claw for underwater sonic weapons. This shrimp doesn't fight fair. It just deletes you. 5. Male turkeys. Down bad, head obsessed. Okay. This one's kinda cursed. Male turkeys are biologically programmed to respond to visual signals for mating. So in a lab experiment, scientists used just the fake head of a female turkey mounted on a stick, and that was enough. The males were ready to mate with just the head. Not the feathers. Not the body. Just floating head energy. That's next level down bad. Like medieval villain enchanted mirror levels of weird. 6. Llama's spit. Fermented stomach goo. Llamas? Adorable? Yeah, until they aim. When annoyed, stressed, or asserting dominance, llamas unleash a blast of fermented green spit, made from half-digested stomach contents. It smells foul. It stains clothes. It ruins days. And it's accurate. Some can launch it over 10 feet. The worst part? They often practice on tourists. So yeah, next time you're in the Andes, don't test a llama's patience. 7. Saculina parasite. Crabs turned into zombie nannies. This one could be straight out of sci-fi. A microscopic parasite called Saculina carcini infects crabs. It injects its cells into the crab's body, grows inside it, then takes full control. The result? The crab can no longer reproduce. Its behavior changes. Its hormones shift. It now exists only to care for the parasite's eggs, even if the crab is male. Imagine your brain getting rewritten to raise someone else's kids. That's what this parasite does, no remorse. 8. Honeybees cook intruders alive. Bees sting, sure. But Japanese honeybees? They went full Mortal Kombat. When a giant hornet invades the hive, bees don't sting it. Instead, they surround it in a ball, buzzing so hard that the temperature rises to 117 degrees Fahrenheit, about 47 degrees Celsius. Hornets die at 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Bees can survive up to 118 degrees Fahrenheit. So the bees literally slow roast the intruder alive, like a biological oven. Who needs weapons when you've got synchronized thermal warfare? 9. Elephants mourn the dead. Time to get emotional. Elephants, some of the most intelligent animals on Earth, show clear signs of mourning. They revisit the bones of dead elephants, even years later. They gently touch skulls and tusks with their trunks. Sometimes they stand silent for hours, almost like a vigil. There's no evolutionary reason for this. Just raw emotion and memory. It's grief. Real, complex grief, from creatures who never forget. 10. Chickens can count, and understand physics? Yup, chickens. Turns out, baby chicks can understand object permanence. That if you hide something behind a screen, it still exists. Even human babies take months to learn that. They can also count up to 5. And they recognize faces. So maybe that chicken you ate last week remembered you. Studio microphone, midpoint transition sound. Okay, we're only halfway through. If your brain's already fried, stay with me, because the next 10? They're even weirder. We're talking animal hypnosis, decapitation survival, insect engineering, and straight-up necromancy. You still in? Good. Let me know if you'd like me to continue with the second half now, or want it in a separate file for editing. You said, okay, continue. ChatGPT said, studio microphone, bizarre animal behaviors that will leave you speechless, part 2. We're not done. Not even close. You thought the first 10 were strange? Let's crank the weirdness up to Defcon, what the heck? 11. The fish that survives being eaten. Say hello to the parasitic tongue-eating louse. This horrifying crustacean swims into a fish's mouth, and eats the tongue. But wait, it gets worse. It then attaches itself to the base of the tongue socket and becomes the fish's new tongue. It literally replaces a body part and lives there permanently. The fish keeps eating. The parasite gets fed. It's the worst roommate situation in nature, and the fish can't evict it. 12. Frogs that freeze themselves solid in winter. Most animals hibernate. But wood frogs in Alaska? They go full Elsa, and literally freeze. No heartbeat, no breathing. They become a popsicle. Then, come spring, they thaw out, like nothing happened. Heart starts up. Blood flows. Frog goes back to living life. These frogs are basically reanimated corpses. Nature really coded in pause plus resume. 13. Lizards with detachable tails, and more. You know how some lizards drop their tails when attacked? Classic defense move. But some species go above and beyond. Certain geckos can detach skin flaps too. Like, skin armor. Others regrow limbs multiple times like it's nothing. It's like having DLC body parts. 14. Squids that hypnotize with light shows in the deep sea. Some squids, like the firefly squid, create dazzling light shows using bioluminescence. But here's the twist, they're not just showing off. They use the lights to hypnotize prey. Tiny fish get drawn in by the pulsing lights, stunned by the flashing glow, and boom, snatched. It's like a deep-sea rave, followed by death. Predator meets party planner. 15. Turtle that breathes through its butt. No joke. The Fitzroy River turtle, also called the bum breather, can literally absorb oxygen through its cloaca, a multi-purpose hole under its tail. Why? So it can stay underwater for hours without needing to surface. Its butt is basically a set of gills. So yeah, This turtle is living proof that nature doesn't care where the lungs are, as long as oxygen gets in. 16. Spiders that catapult web bombs. The bullous spider doesn't spin normal webs. Instead, it creates a sticky orb on a silk line and swings it like a freakin' morning star, smacking moths mid-flight. Even crazier? It releases chemical pheromones that mimic female moths. So male moths think they're flying to a date, and instead get sniped by a spider with a web yo-yo. Love, lies. Death by string. 17. Ants that explode. You thought kamikaze was a human thing? Nah. In Southeast Asia, exploding ants exist. When threatened, these ants tense their muscles so hard their bodies rupture, releasing sticky, toxic goo all over their enemies, killing themselves in the process. Yeah. They literally go boom for the squad. Suicide bombing? More like bio-warfare bug edition. 18. Snakes that fake their own death. Oscar-worthy. The hognose snake is the drama queen of the reptile world. When threatened, it puts on a full performance. Flips upside down, mouth open, tongue hanging out, even releases a foul smell to mimic rotting flesh. If you flip it upright, it flips back to its "I'm totally dead" position. This snake would have won Best Actor if the Oscars had a wildlife category. 19. Owls that mimic snakes. The eastern screech-owled chick has a terrifying trick. When threatened, it makes a sound that mimics a rattlesnake's hiss. So predators who peek into a nest expecting a snack get spooked and bail. Imagine opening a lunchbox and hearing the cobra warning. Yeah. That's a nope from every direction. 20. Shrimp that steals electricity. Finally, meet the electric cleaner shrimp. Okay, it doesn't generate electricity, but it's known to feed off microelectric signals in the skin of other fish. It'll sit inside the gills or mouths of huge predators, cleaning their teeth, living rent-free, and reading their electrical fields for stress or aggression. It's like a spa plus therapist rolled into one tiny shrimp. And if the host fish gets mad, it bolts, faster than a blink. Shrimp got neurological radar. We got TikTok. Final outro. So, what did we learn? Animals are not just cute. They're not just wild. They're bugged out, brain-bending, reality-breaking freaks of nature, and we love them for it. Whether it's a butt-breathing turtle, a drama snake, or an octopus with attitude, Mother Nature is on something, and she's not getting off it anytime soon. Speech balloon. Which animal weirded you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Smash that like, sub for more beast mode bizarre, and remember, if you think humans are weird, just look at the octopus punching its coworkers underwater for no reason. This is the wild, weird world we live in. Stay strange, brain sparkles.